I felt a great disturbance in the force.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Wiltshire Ranked, a show where we talk about 5 things in the pop culture industry and rank the top 5. I'm your host, Jordan Wiltshire, and I'm here today with my best friend, Josh Copsey.
What up, everyone?
So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 underrated Star Wars characters in films. We're not talking about the TV series, not Clone Wars or Rebels, as Josh stupidly is not caught up with Star Wars Rebels Season 3. Okay, so, Josh, what are maybe your honourable mentions of underrated Star Wars characters?
It's mostly the Jedi that come into my honourable mention.
So you got, what, are you saying you got no Jedi in your top 5?
I've got one Sith, but no Jedi.
Okay, what sort of Jedi are you talking about that you're underrated?
My honourable mentions are Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, and Aayla Secura.
Okay, my honourable mentions, I would say Wicket W. Warwick, the Ewok. I do have Elan Sleaze Bagano as an honourable mention.
No.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's just a classic line, you can't beat that. And then also, I think honourable mention has to be Admiral Vaddis. Okay, from Rogue One. I was nearly going to put him on my top 5, but as much as I loved him, there's someone else I love more than Admiral Vaddis.
Another Mon Calamari.
Maybe. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. So, Josh, who is your number 5 underrated Star Wars character?
My number 5 is Jango Fett.
Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Okay, why Jango Fett?
I think he gets a bad rap in...
He does get his head cut off quite easily.
Yeah, but he's only featured in episode 2, but there's so much the Star Wars universe that is dependent on Jango. Mainly the entire clone army.
True, that is a good point.
Obviously, his method of trying to assassinate Padme is incredible.
I think the best moment of Jango Fett when he does kill Coleman Trubor, the sort of dinosaur Jedi.
Yeah.
That is a badass moment, and obviously when he's flying the ship, and that's probably one of the better scenes from.
Yeah, the fight scene between him and Obi-Wan's really good.
One of the better scenes from Attack of the Clones, which I think we can both agree is the worst movie
easily
of the Star Wars trilogy.
And obviously he's the father of Boba Fett.
One
of the best characters in Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I used to
But
love
also
him, but
not in
he's
the
sort of
films.
so... Yeah, not in the films, you're right, because in the Clone Wars series, he becomes much better developed, but Boba Fett, I'd almost put him on my list, but he just wasn't... He gets killed so easily.
Yeah.
They ruin him in Return of the Jedi. So my number 5 is Kit Fisto. So we've talked about him already, the smiling Jedi with the tentacles, and he's also developed a lot in the Clone Wars TV series if you watched him. He fights General Grievous, he has a Padawan, a Mon Calamari Padawan, and I think, and even in the expanded universe, which isn't canon anymore, he is so great in it, and he's so well expanded, and he does put up a fight against Palpatine compared to the other 2 Jedi Masters who died.
Immediately.
Yeah. Okay, they were pretty lame, weren't they? Okay, so we talked about number 5. What is our number 4, or your number 4 underrated Star Wars character?
This is my quote one.
Oh, okay.
Davin Felth.
Davin Falf.
Yes, I got someone that you don't know.
Is that's not the one from Mos Eisley Cantina, is it?
No, he's a stormtrooper. He's the one that famously says, "Look, sir, droids." And he's one of my underrated characters. Again,
What in you're talking in episode 4, yeah?
No, you are in episode 4, but also his role in the expanded universe is incredible. He's like a master AT-AT pilot.
Are we talking in the expanded universe or in the canon?
Well, mostly in the expanded universe because
Okay,
he
so in
features
Legends.
throughout episodes 4. But obviously his only line is "Look, sir, droids."
Okay.
But he's one of my underrated characters.
No, that is a deep cut. Okay, a deep cut. Even for me with my Star Wars knowledge, deep cut.
So I'm just glad someone was on my list that you didn't know.
Now my number 4 is sort of a deep cut as well. Not as deep cut as that. Okay, he's probably one of the more underrated heroes of the Star Wars universe. Lobot.
Okay.
Okay, Lobot is the bold guy on Bespin City with sort of the robot ears. Okay, he's basically running that place for Lando Calrissian, and he does help Lando Calrissian, or it does take control and help save Bespin City and evacuate it.
He's got such a minor role in the film. Obviously, like you know, apart from that, his like administrative duties are just huge.
Okay, he controls that. Lando does nothing but gamble and and have sex with women. That's probably all he does. Lobot runs Cloud City. Now, what is your number 3 underrated Star Wars character?
Following on from Bespin and Cloud City, my number 3 is Lando Calrissian.
Lando Calrissian. See,
Yeah.
I didn't include him because I think he's a main character.
No, he's not. I mean, he's got a pretty minor role in the films. He flies the Millennium Falcon for a little bit in episode 6.
He
but...
destroys the flipping second Death Star.
Yeah, but I still think he's underrated.
I'd consider him one of the big 4. You know, you've got everyone's the big 3: Luke, Han, and Leia, and then the 4th is either Chewie,
Chewbacca.
or Lando.
No, there's no way it's Lando. It's definitely Chewie.
Why do you love Lando so much?
Again, I think following a similar theme, he gets a pretty bad rap, especially from Episode 5, where he betrays Han and the group to Lord Vader. But when you think about it, he's got the interest of an entire city.
Yeah,
and he's like the leader of Cloud City. He's like a huge mining settlement. And he's looking out for potentially thousands of people who are depending on him, as opposed to the 5 main characters which we see as watching the films
and
as the heroes.
And hopefully we're going to see a lot more of his character because he's going to appear in the young Han Solo film.
I'm looking forward
played
more
by
to
Donald
seeing
Glover.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his character more than I am about young Han Solo.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, with the new Star Wars story coming out, whereas Han Solo's character, I don't think needs to have any further story. I think Lando is a good character I definitely want to see more of.
Definitely.
And know more about him.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 3 is one who I think I was hoping might appear on your list, but I'm not sure now, is Admiral Akbar, okay? He is so genius, okay? I love Admiral Akbar. He was going to appear in Rogue One, but instead they put Admiral Raddus instead.
I like that Admiral Raddus.
I do like Admiral Raddus. You know, he was based on Winston Churchill, he attacked them, fight, we must fight. Where Admiral Akbar, I think, just has the comedy view, but also the tactical view, but I think they're going to explore him a lot more in, hopefully, some of the new canon novels, and he did appear in Force Awakens as well.
Yeah.
And
Very
everyone
nice
knows him
again.
for his famous line,
It's a trap.
"It's a trap."
It's a trap!
Yeah. Okay, it's such a brilliant, it's got so many memes, and I think he is a great character that he's now more become a meme than a character, but I think his character is great. So far we've counted down our top 3 underrated Star Wars characters. Now on to our number 2s, and so far we've not had any matching. Now, Josh, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Wedge Antilles.
Yes, okay. We have not talked about these lists before, okay? We have not planned this, but my number 2 is also Wedge Antilles. Who else could it be?
Oh.
He's the only person to survive 2 Death Star runs.
Yeah. He's one of the best pilots that the Rebels
He
has.
is,
He's like such a staple for the Rebel fleet, and he doesn't get enough screen time at all.
No, I was so annoyed when he didn't appear in Rogue One, but that's
Yeah.
because he says a line in New Hope, like, look at the size of the thing, and they thought he hasn't seen it before, so he can't appear. There is a voice cameo from him in Rogue One, though.
Oh. That's like, the thing is, like, if he's not in Rogue One, it means there could be another Star Wars story where they explore
Yeah, like,
the X-Wing squadrons
everyone
of Rebel
thought Rogue
Alliance.
One was going to be an X-Wing
Yeah,
story
yeah.
because the expanded universe legend novels, Rogue Squadron, where Wedge
Yeah.
Antilles builds up Rogue Squadron to be this elite fighter pilot squadron as well as commandos at the same time. And it's a great story.
But that said, the X-Wing scenes in Rogue One are fantastic.
And Wedge Antilles is a big part of that. He's the only person to survive both Death Star runs and the Battle of Hoth, fighting in all of them. And, and he's so underrated and he doesn't get the appreciation I think he deserves.
Yeah.
And the annoying thing is, he was going to appear in Force Awakens as well.
Oh, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they asked Dennis Lawson, the actor who played him, to do a cameo along the lines of Nien Nunb and Admiral Akbar, who appeared in Force Awakens, but he didn't want to. He doesn't like Star Wars, even though his nephew is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And he has started appearing in more of the new canon novels a bit more, but nothing along the lines of the expanded universe legend novels, Rogue Squadron, which is amazing. And even though they're not canon, I would recommend reading for Star Wars fans.
On the subject of cameos, I love the cameos in Rogue One of Gold Leader and Red Leader.
Yeah, see, that's
so
what when I
good.
saw those, I was like,
Yeah.
where's the footage? Where's the
Where's
footage of
Wedge?
Wedge? And they missed out that chance, and it would have been great for fans. So on number 1, I think is also going to be the same. Okay, we haven't discussed it, but
Yeah,
there's only one
it's
character.
so
Isn't it? What is it?
Darth Maul.
Obviously.
He's so underused.
It was a tragedy that they killed him in the first film.
Criminal.
And, yeah, criminal. And the thing is, they did bring him back in the Clone Wars, which you have seen. They
Yeah.
brought him back in Star Wars Rebels Season 2, which you've seen.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen Star Wars Rebels Season 3, have you?
So no spoilers.
No spoilers. I can't spoil it, okay? Please don't spoil it in the comments because he maybe read them, but you never know. You need to watch it, okay?
Yeah.
Because the story comes full circle.
Plus, even a CGI Darth Maul just doesn't do it justice, does
No,
it?
definitely not. But I think they really develop his character and use his character
Oh,
as
yeah.
it should have been in the movies. He should have been in episode 1, 2, and 3. Or at least episode 1 and 2, you know.
Like, the thing is, with episode 4, 5, and 6, Darth Vader, and then introducing Darth Sidious, the main villains stayed the same throughout the films.
Yeah.
And hopefully with episodes 7, 8, and 9, Kylo Ren and Snoke.
We didn't have that
same
impact,
role.
even though Darth Maul was obviously a threat in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
We could see that he killed Qui-Gon Jinn for frick's sake. We did not feel as emotionally invested in that villain as we would have, say, in Darth Vader or Sidious. if he had appeared in all 3 of the prequel films, at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know, we met Count Dooku in episode 2, who then died at the beginning of episode 3.
Count Dooku is such a terrible replacement for Darth Maul. I mean,
Yeah,
I
well,
think Christopher Lee's a fantastic actor.
Christopher Lee did great with the role as best he could. And then we met General Grievous, who was introduced in a Cartoon Network TV series that no one watched, and then he appeared in episode 3 like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he died again.
Yeah.
There was no overarching villain apart from Palpatine, but he wasn't the villain. He was the puppet master.
Yeah, yeah.
And you needed that villain, and you needed that, you know, that skill and the lightsaber fights of Darth Maul. And Ray Park, who played him,
and a character arc of Darth Maul would be incredible as well.
Yeah.
Seeing his character develop properly throughout the prequels.
throughout the film, you know, and then Anakin Skywalker coming to replace him, you could get that battle and that, you know, that fight where Anakin Skywalker kills Darth Maul and then takes on the Darth Vader role. The acrobats of Darth Maul, the double-bladed lightsaber, which we all love.
It's so iconic.
It's so iconic, and I don't think anyone could wield it like Darth Maul does. If someone, they're just copying Darth Maul.
Again, the actor is like a martial arts expert. Isn't
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, he wasn't originally going to be the actor. He was just going to do the stunts, and they had someone else I can't remember, and there was someone else who recorded some voice lines. But when his role was significantly cut down, they just kept with Ray Park, who has been in quite a few other genre roles, like he was in X-Men.
But even a few lines of Darth Maul are still like so good.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if he had been in all of the prequel series, it would have been so much better than it was.
We've not even talked about the character design of Darth Maul himself. Like, it's so imposing. Like the tattoos, the horns,
and we explore so much of that character of the tattoos, the horns, and everything in the Clone Wars, where we go back to Dathomir, and that's a completely different backstory from what we knew from when it was it was the Legends backstory. And it's just, I think it would have been amazing to see more of him on screen. And in some ways,
definitely.
I still think we could, if there was a Star Wars spin-off story, maybe Obi-Wan.
The Obi-Wan trilogy.
You know, I think, but, you know, maybe in flashbacks, or even a Darth Maul origin story. If we had a Darth Maul origin story of Darth Sidious finding him as a kid, you know, and training him up, I think that would be a great...
I don't think Darth Maul will ever see the big screen again.
I know,
which is such a shame.
That's the sad thing. So that has been our top 5 underrated Star Wars characters. Now you've heard my list. Are there any that you would actually think, you know, that you'd take off your list, sort of, if we had to make a conglomeration of our 5? I think we can both agree Darth Maul would be number 1.
And then
Wedge Antilles. But what would be our number 3? Who did you have number 3?
I had Lando.
You had Lando and I had Akbar.
Yeah.
See, I think I can understand. See, if I was having to include your list, I'd put Lando at number 3, but then Akbar has to be on there at number 4, don't you think?
Yeah, Akbar's definitely a good addition.
4, and
I did think about him when I was thinking of the
list. I then don't think, you know, as much as I love that your deep cut Stormtrooper, he's such a small role.
Yeah, Akbar can definitely take his
Akbar 4, and then who would be number 5 then? So I've left Lobot and Kit Fisto.
I've got Django, obviously removing Davin.
And who was your number 4?
4 was Davin, 5 was Django.
So I think you're right. Django does have that overall arc, even in the original trilogy, even though he's not in it.
Yeah, he's such an influential character in the Star Wars universe.
Definitely, without him, he doesn't. There's no clone army. Yeah. I think you're right. Jango Fett is definitely number 5 in the underrated Star Wars characters. So, Josh, thank you for coming today, and thank you for geeking out with me about the top 5 underrated Star Wars characters.
You know, it's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you very much. So, what do you think are the top 5 Star Wars underrated characters? Did we forget any that you think should definitely be on there? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button. Follow me on social media, links are in the description below. And until next time, subscribe for more, check out my other videos. Until next time, I've been your host, Jordan Wiltshire, and this has been my best friend, Josh Copsey.
Thanks.
Bye.
Subscribe.